we've got an extended look this week, so we're getting away from reviews a little bit, but we'll review games later on. We got plenty of stuff coming out later this year, but this week we got an extended look at Revelations 2. Now, I think all the episodes are actually out at this point. I think the last one came out pretty recently, but can't you buy the whole thing as a package too, since they're all out now?
You can buy the whole thing as a package, and apparently if you buy all 4 episodes, you unlock 2 bonus mini-sodes, I guess. There's also a raid mode that's kind of like Resident Evil Mercenaries a little bit. But I've only played I played the first few segments of Resident Evil Revelations 2, and it's pretty good so far, actually. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but none of you have played this so far?
We're looking at the footage. I haven't gotten to it yet, but the thing, I am definitely interested in playing this one because this looks like this is the first one since Code Veronica that you've got a chance to play as Claire. So I definitely want to get on this as soon as possible.
I mean, I can with this being an extended look, like, you know, bear in mind this is not a review. This is, I have played through the first couple sections of the game. You guys have not played this yet, so I can give you guys my impressions of the game thus far. And, you know, so far I can tell you that story-wise, it kind of goes into that, you know, it kind of goes into the cheesy classic Resident Evil storyline a little bit. And I kind of picked up some Code Veronica vibes from it. You start off the game and you're, you know, you start off as Claire is at Claire works for a company called TerraSave, which is kind of like a company that goes in and cleans up biological terror messes. So she works for this company called TerraSave. And, you know, she is working with Moira, who is Barry Burton's daughter. They are at a company party, and Umbrella-esque commandos crash the party, kidnap them, and then you wake up in a deserted prison, kind of similarly to Code Veronica. You wake up, you don't know where you are, this door unlocks, and then you find Moira inside a prison cell, and then you have to try to escape the island.
Now, I'm assuming this is all after the CG movie they did with Claire and Leon a while back, right?
I believe so. But, I mean, I can tell you straight off the bat that it plays a lot like Resident Evil 4, obviously. And there is a partner element to the game, which is cool, but it is at the same time fairly annoying. There is no online co-op. It is local co-op only or AI. So if you want to play this game with your friend, you have to play split screen, and they have to be in the same room as you.
That's disappointing.
They started doing that with 5, and the AI, it does an okay job, but there's definitely some annoying shit.
It's not great, but they make the partner mechanic necessary for you to finish the game, which is really annoying. And when you start off playing, you play as Claire mainly, but you can switch on the fly. So Moira's character is essentially, her job is really to, she uses a flashlight and she also gets a crowbar. Later on, you get some other things, but like she starts off with a crowbar and a flashlight. So you need to use her to open doors and to locate items with the flashlight. And then Claire does all the heavy lifting, which is, it's pretty annoying because like, your partner character gets killed, or you have to switch in between this character fairly frequently in the game, where I just want to play the game and blast through it. Moira is also... her character is not amazing in the game. Her character is supposed to be this rebellious teenager that just has a potty mouth. Like I wish that I had counted how many times. But that's her whole thing, is that like she says something in the games like I think what's the line that was really funny? She says something like, "I couldn't give 3 moist fucks" or something. Like that's like a line that she uses in the.
Yeah, you know, I think I saw them talking about that on Gaff in the Gaff thread for this game.
Right. So they kind of make her this rebellious teenager who does not like her father, and like it's a pretty annoying mechanic. But overall, the characters are pretty well fleshed out. Barry's storyline, I forget the little girl's name, but Barry's teamed up with a little girl, and his storyline is a little bit better, and it's also much cooler to play as Barry. I think he's a stronger character. But the characters are fairly well developed. You get to play as Claire, you get to play as Barry. The partner mechanic works well enough. It's a little annoying at times, but it works well enough. So overall, story-wise, it's kind of that classic. It's got more classic Resident Evil vibes. than 5 and 6. It also has a lot more cheesy elements to it. They reference a lot of the cheesy lines from past games, which is pretty good fan service, I thought. I see what you got. What you guys are looking at now. You're looking at the first location, and this is the prison complex. One thing that I did wish that the game had done a little bit better is that it's not quite as compelling as Resident Evil Revelations 1. I felt like the cruise ship was a better, well fleshed out location overall. The prison was a little dull and uninspired. It's kind of that classic, you've seen it before. I felt like I was playing Code Veronica again. It just felt like the same environment kind of rehashed.
The prison is kind of a popular choice for horror themes too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Silent Hill overdid the prison
right.
Man.
Also, I felt like the enemies were not very inspired. In Claire and Moira's campaign, the enemies all seem like B-list, like the characters that were not used for Resident Evil 4 and The Evil Within. It's kind of like, I felt like we were just looking at the designer just looked at Resident Evil 4 and Evil Within and was just like, oh, just make a guy that looks like those guys. And that's what the monsters looked like. In Barry's campaign, you get a little bit more of that classic zombie shambler type character, which is a little bit more Resident Evil, classic Resident Evil, which I felt a little bit more compelled to play.
Right.
Overall, I mean, the game, it plays pretty well. It plays more like classic. It plays more like 4 than any of the past games that have come out recently. And thus far, I would say that this is I would definitely say that this is the best Resident Evil experience that I've had since 4.
Really?
That's a tall statement right there, dude.
When you look at the other stuff that's come out, I mean,
That's true. 5 and 6.
You're comparing it to 5, 6, and Umbrella Chronicles, and the light gun games or whatever.
Yeah,
It's good. It's a good game. I wish that the game had a little bit more budget to it, so that they could have fleshed out the locations and the storyline a little bit more. But if this is the format that Capcom is willing to go, this episodic, and that's the thing, and they really set it up to be like an episodic type game, which is refreshing. I felt like this is probably the best direction for the franchise thus far, and so far it's really fun. This is the direction that I'm hoping that Resident Evil will go in the future. It's good. It's a very good look at Resident Evil so far.
I'm gonna have to jump on it then.
It's on PSN right now and Xbox Live. If you want to play the game, I would recommend it. It also has a raid mode, which is the multiplayer mode or whatever. I did not play that, but I hear that it's very fun.
Yeah, they always have like a raid mode, or that Mercenaries mode is usually pretty popular. So I never jumped into those.
Awesome in Resident Evil 4. I don't know about any of the other ones.
Yeah. Isn't it just you can play it with a friend, or you can do multiplayer and it just unlocks more stuff?
In Resident Evil 5, there was a co-op Mercenaries mode, which was actually pretty cool. That was probably the coolest part of that game, in my opinion. I loved Mercenaries in 4. I couldn't stop playing it until I 5-starred every character, and 5 was fun too. I definitely didn't get as into it as I did with 4.
Right.
All right, awesome. So there you go, guys. Resident Evil Revelations 2. Check it out if you're a fan of the series, definitely.
Could be the saving. I think that this could be the saving grace for the series so far.
Yeah, Capcom's got to do something, man.
Yeah, no, they're hurting.
Damn.
It's better. It's better than 6. I'll give it that. It's much better than 6.
Better than 6. Okay, fair enough.